Hey folks, I'm Mike and I hate ads, but I love Inkvent and it is Inkvent time. Projects like this are funded by my patrons at patreon.com/inkdependence. You can become a patron today or just subscribe to the channel. That's free. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. This is day 8, the Ocho of the Inkvent calendar from Diamine for 2021. And you can find these maybe still in stores or in stock at some stores. Let's get into this door here. That is the only way. Here's what I've been doing the last couple of days. You open the door, and then you tilt it this way, and then dump it out, and it will actually fall out into your hand. That was a great tip given to me by a viewer. Thank you kindly, viewer. This is Raspberry Rose, right there. It is a standard ink, although some of these standard inks have had sheen and that sort of thing. A couple of them haven't, but some of them have. All right, let's get in here. Day 8. Get my artisanal letter opener here. All right. I'm going to keep using this Matsubakuri red pomegranate dip pen. This is a fine nib. I actually like this one quite a lot, so it's the one that I really gravitate to more than the others. Day 8. All right, there we go. Raspberry Rose. This looks like it's going to be a real nice one. Let's let it dry, and then we'll find some things that are comparable. I think there will probably be a lot of these. All right, there it is, all dried up. This didn't take very long either, which I really appreciate. These last two have been very quick. This one took took a long time to dry, although it works just fine in a pen. But these two, no problems at all. And you see that Raspberry Rose, I was like, well, come on, pick a raspberry or pick a rose. Don't give me Raspberry Rose. I don't know what that is. That's not a real thing. Maybe it is. But this is a beautiful color, and it does look kind of raspberry and kind of rosy. So, neat. Now, the problem with an ink like that is that I'm actually going to have to go through 3 sections of Colodex. So, prepare yourselves for a long montage of me flipping through pink, red, and also maroon. It's going to be a long montage, although I might shorten it by a whole lot. So, here we go. Let's get going. Okay, as predicted, I have a bunch of these that I think are definitely worth seeing next to this. Some of them are real close, some of them are slightly less close, but like whatever. We're going to blitz through them, so be ready to pause if you see one that you really like, because it's going to go quick. This is Pilot Ushizuku Yamabudo, which definitely leans a little bit more violet than I thought it was going to. Before I just put it next to it, I thought it was closer. Not that close. This is Sailor Manyo Akebi, which I really like. This is a beautiful ink, so much that I bought this ink right off. Gorgeous, but a little bit more pink. Califolio Anjanopal, a whole lot more pink, but I thought maybe people would ask about this one. Not even close. Also, this ink writes like pants. You got to be ready for a really dry ink for this one. Then this one is Krishna Nars Javale. I can't say that. I don't know what that word is, but that is pretty darn close, although I haven't used this ink. It's a little bit on the lighter side, perhaps doesn't shade as dark as Raspberry Rose. Then we've got another Krishna called Wild Cherry, which leans a little bit more pink than what Raspberry Rose does, so kind of on either side there. Then we have Krishna Myrtle, which I love. I think it is a beautiful color and really reminds me of my crepe myrtles, but it also stained the feet of a pen, so be careful. Don't put this in a pen that you don't mind, that you want to remain unstained, because myrtle, stainy. And then lastly from the pinks, the Karan Divine Pink, which is kind of close, but much pinker, I think, than Raspberry Rose goes. But we don't get enough Karan around, and so I figured it was worth showing. Then, from the maroon section, we've got Private Reserve Burgundy Mist. This is the new formula. It's a bit darker than Raspberry Rose, but we got the same kind of feeling going on there. This is a nice ink, runs very wet. Then we've got Pannonia Musvarosh, which is young wine. I like this color a lot. Leans a little bit more brown than Raspberry Rose does. Then we've got Tasha Ibi, which is shrimp, purple red. Another one that I really like. This is a great ink. And it's kind of close, although this one tends to be darker and does have sheen. Then, lastly, in the maroon section, Diamine Mulled Wine. This is from the 2019 Inkvent. It is fairly close, although I think a bit different from Raspberry Rose, but same kind of color space there for sure. Okay. Then, last but not least, or is that from the reds? Uh-oh. Yeah, whatever. We have Pannonia Megish, which is sour cherry. I think this is actually pretty darn close. I've really been enjoying these Pannonia inks. I think these are great. Definitely try a Pannonia if you haven't. Although this does lean a bit more red than Raspberry Rose does. Then Monteverde Napa Burgundy, which I think is a really close match to Raspberry Rose. So if you already have Napa Burgundy, you probably don't need Raspberry Rose. They seem very close. Then franklin-christoph Sweet Maroon, which is one of my favorites, but runs way more red. And lastly, Faber-Castell's Garnet Red, which I think is also pretty close, although maybe not as interesting as Raspberry Rose. I don't think it has as interesting a color set in that ink. So, you know, whatever. But I think the closest definitely is Napa Burgundy. Those are not identical, but they are very, very similar. Okay, thanks very much for watching. This is day 8 of the Ocho of the Inkvent. Tomorrow, day 9. You guessed it. Peace out.